29, Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. You know that. If you're tuning in, if you're watching, it's too sweet. Anyway, carrying on with the division predictions, and these are obviously the last two I have to do. So you can tell, we're talking Metro today. Now, normally, the Metro is a very, very, very tight division, and this year, I don't think will be too much of an exception outside the top three. I think your top three will be solid, set in stone, but again, the Metro was probably the worst as far as predictions went. So let's talk about it. So as I was saying, the Metro for me was the worst to predict. Here's how it looked as far as my predictions went. If you want to see the video for my predictions from last season's campaign, there's a link in the description down below. But that's how my predictions looked, and here's how it actually looked. So all told, last season I went 0 for 8 as far as division predictions was concerned. So I'm hoping this year there's a bit more of a chance for me to get some kind of a redemption. But having said all that, let's go over my predictions in reverse. Poor Columbus, poor Columbus. They went all in last year, and they paid a heavy price for it, and it's going to show this year. Outside of your mainstays on your roster, your Seth Jones, your Gustav Nyquists, maybe even your Werenskis, there's really not much good coming out of Columbus this year. I don't think it'll be to the point where it costs Tortorella his job. I mean, if anything, it'll be the lack of experience on this team now. I mean, no Bread, no goalie Bob. I'm not going to say they're going to be in the bottom four as far as overall league standings, but they're definitely not moving up past 8th. So I was really tossed up on putting the Islanders where I'm putting the Islanders. And it's not a case of, the Islanders have one good year and then they end up sucking for another 4. They've got the tools. They've got Barry Trotz, they got Lou Lamoriello, but Varley isn't necessarily your best replacement for Lehner. And I'm not saying that to be the guy that says, oh, well, Varley's no good. I'm probably Varley's biggest fan, if it hasn't already been obvious. But I don't know. I mean, you can only run on the depth of Barzal, Eberle, and your top line for so long before you finally realize you need a little more. And who knows, maybe they might pick up a little more later on in the season, and maybe they'll move beyond the 7th I'm predicting them to be. I hope for good things for Varley. I hope for good things for the Islanders. I just don't know if it'll be this year. This was another one where I was like, well, am I making the right call? But the jersey rebuild, I'm sure, is almost near completion. I mean, having Hischier, having Hughes is never a bad thing. Having an uncertainty with Taylor Hall is a bad thing. And that's not even to say if he'll even play a full healthy season. I mean, everybody thought New Jersey was making a deep playoff run last year because everybody thought Taylor Hall was going to be healthy, and he wasn't. So I think a lot rests on Taylor Hall. Bringing in Subban is never a bad thing, but that's really the best thing they got going on in defense. They still haven't fixed the goaltending. Like, as far as I know, Schneider's still the number 1 guy for whatever reason. So they got a lot of things to fix. They might have some distractions going in, but in a year or two, this will just be a minor hiccup. On the topic of rebuilds near completion, the Rangers, I think, I'm hoping a team that will prove me wrong. In my first 4 drafts, I had them making the playoffs, and then I kind of thought about it. It's like, well, maybe not this year. I really hope they do better than 5th. I really do. I mean, you don't spend that kind of money on Panarin just to tank, just to have a bad result. Elias Anderson will be a guy to watch this year, I think. How much is letting go of Shattenkirk going to hurt? And Lundqvist is nearing the tail end of his career. I don't think it's so much starting to show, but him not having a good defense in front of him is not helping the cause. So if defense can get fixed and isn't a question, I expect them to do better than the 5th I'm putting them in. This is one prediction I hope actually comes true. These guys are going to miss the playoffs. I really wanted to put them lower, but they've got the best 1-2 combo in the league still. I don't think that's going to be enough to get them in the playoffs, though. I mean, they're not the Penguins they used to be. Defense is questionable at best. When Letang can barely be an exclamation point to a full season, I don't think Justin Schultz is a number 2 guy. And outside Crosby, Malkin, and sometimes Hornquist, who else can you rely on for scoring? I don't think Galchenyuk is going to have the turnaround everybody expects him to have. But I'm willing to go on a limb and say Pittsburgh is not making the playoffs this year. I really hope that happens. But Philly is making the playoffs this year. And it's more than just having Alain Vigneault as the new coach. It's having Provorov long term. It's having Konecny long term. Being the shadows of the Giroux and the Voraceks. Plus having a Carter Hart in net. Having the benefit of a full half season behind him. Going into a training camp, raring to go. Good things in Philly. Very good things in Philly. And I'm excited to see it. Not so much because it'll be at the expense of the Penguins. Well, actually, that's half of it. But with given the right kind of moves and the right kind of tinkering in the lineup, you can see the Flyers going very, very far. And I really hope they do. I was really debating if I wanted to put the Bunch of Jerks first or second. Because the Bunch of Jerks surprised everybody last year, myself included. I picked them to be 30th overall. Now I'm picking them to be second in the division. And a lot of that could be attributed to the moves they made last season. Bringing in Hamilton. I mean, yeah, they're over cap right now, and chances are Justin Falk is going to be moved. But they've got enough guys in the depth system. They got enough guys in the farm to move up on defense to make a Falk move be something that you could just blow right by. And I mean, who's to say Falk would even be the guy that they hoped it would materialize for him in Carolina? He could be a bust elsewhere. But either way, with Mrazek in net, and I've always said, pay attention to Mrazek, because Mrazek is going to be a beast for years to come. They don't need to rely on a 40-50 goal guy. They don't need a guy to score 100 points a season because they've got good team chemistry. And the Bunch of Jerks movement seemed to really only cement it, and hopefully, it works well for him again this year. As if I'd pick anybody else to go first. Like, seriously, that's not even a question mark anymore. They're still determined. The window of championship opportunity is still wide open, and barring major injury, yeah, they could go far. I mean, whether or not this is the last season for Holtby, whether or not this is the last season for Backstrom in Washington, remains to be seen. I would hope not, but they're probably solid off in net for a couple more years anyways. I mean, they got Samsonov coming up, they got Copley, so you're looking at that, and Ovechkin is not slowing down at all, even though the guy's 34. Most guys at 34 really start to slow down. Ovechkin, no. You could even say he's still in his prime. And yeah, the determination to win another cup, I'm sure, is still there. Deep playoff run, we'll see. With no Pittsburgh in the playoffs, it should be easy. But we'll see how everything goes in Washington. I totally expect them to be first in the Metro, and I would love it when it comes to fruition. So that was my predictions for the Metropolitan Division, and this was episode 29. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your comments. Give me your predictions in the comments description below. If you want to, there's that little subscribe button. Right there. Smack that thing and stay up to date with all the content I'm putting out. Help this channel get to 50 subs. Become a subscriber. If you like to, you can find Trev's Trade page on Facebook at Trev's Trade page. You can find the parent channel on Facebook at Trev's TV. You can find Trev TV on Instagram at Rockstar Trev TV. There's 2 more channels that would love to get 50 subs as well. There, you can find their pictures in the credits to know what you're looking for. Moving forward, I got one more division prediction video to do tonight. After that, I'm sure we'll think of something. I'm sure that, there's more retired numbers I want to go over there. I know there's at least one more easy one I want to do before I get into the harder ones. So there's that for consideration. But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be on the lookout for more videos from the Trev. Later.